By now, you understand that renovation loans are built around a future plan. So the next logical question is, how does the money actually get paid out? With a traditional loan, all funds are released at closing. Once the loan closes, the lender's done distributing money and they're out of the transaction. Renovation loans work a little differently. Instead of releasing all renovation funds at once, the money's held back and released in stages. This staged release is called a draw schedule. Each draw corresponds to a phase of completed work. And here's how it typically works. First, contractor completes a portion of the project. Next, an inspection or review confirms the work matches the approved scope. Then, the lender releases the next portion of funds. Now, this structure exists for a reason. It protects the borrower. Funds are only released for work that has actually been completed. It also helps keep the project moving forward. The contractor has a clear incentive to complete each phase properly so the next draw can be issued. Now, some borrowers worry that this feels restrictive, and honestly, that reaction is understandable. But in practice, the draw schedule reduces risk for everyone involved, the borrower, the lender, and the contractor. It minimizes large upfront payments, unverified work, and stalled projects halfway through construction. When combined with a clear scope of work and a validated contractor, the draw schedule becomes a guardrail, not a roadblock. Where renovation projects tend to break down isn't the draw schedule itself. It's when expectations around how and when funds are dispersed were never clearly set with the contractor. If a contractor is expecting upfront funds, but the draw schedule is structured with no initial disbursement, the project's already off track. And once that happens, getting things back on track is almost always disruptive. That's why the contractor validation process matters. During validation, expectations around fund disbursement should be clearly discussed with the contractor before the loan's approved. The draw schedule is established during the approval process. At that point, the number of draws and the timing of those draws are set. Those details will vary based on the scope of work and the renovation loan program selected. Now, there are 4 primary renovation loan programs, and each has its own draw structure. The limited FHA 203K has 2 draws. Up to 50% of the bid may be released on the initial draw, with the balance paid out upon completion. Now, the max renovation budget for that is $75,000. It cannot exceed that number. Then you have the standard FHA 203K. That can have up to 5 draws released after inspection. Upfront disbursements are allowed in accordance with HUD guidelines, and the maximum renovation budget is limited by county loan limits. We have the conventional renovation product, which is also up to 5 draws. Upfront disbursements are allowed up to 50% of material costs. The maximum renovation budget is capped at 75% of the subject to value, or the total acquisition cost, whichever one is less, and to loan limits. And the 4th product is our VA renovation. That's limited to 3 draws, no initial draw is allowed, and the maximum renovation budget for that is $50,000. In the final video, we'll walk through the repair escrow and the full draw process, including what happens after closing and how funds are managed until the project is complete. For now, remember this: renovation loans don't release funds based on promises. They release funds based on progress.